Demonick Angel here again tonight, and I'm doing my late Halloween ghost special. I am so sorry for how late it is, but they say better late than never, and I'm really getting into this YouTube channel so much. I love it, and I'm trying to put more time and effort into that. So today, though, I did want to do a talk on ghosts and just kind of some general things. So yeah, we will go into better detail with specific types of hauntings and ghost situations in the future, but yeah, we'll do some general information today. Okay. The first thing that I'd like to explain is that the goal of any haunting, the goal of any ghost or paranormal experience is possession for you. Because the gods, the ghosts, they don't have bodies anymore. They, or maybe they never have, but they're on the astral plane, where they have will, desire, intention, but they don't have a body. So they have to feel that. They have to live that through you. And you probably all know about how the typical classic haunting investigators go into a place and their batteries get drained unexplainably. Entities are also drawing energy from your chakras. They're entering into you through the chakras. They can physically affect you in other ways, but that's how this energy stuff really works. I've taken a lot from Eastern philosophy and Western philosophy, and I talk about what makes sense to me. So that's the best way I can articulate this energy. For instance, when people are on a paranormal investigation, and let's say there's a negative entity around, people will feel commonly nauseous, because that energy is traveling up through the spine. It hits the solar plexus, and because it plays off of your fears, your nervous system and all that, it makes you respond by being nauseous. Some people cry, some people even faint, but people then usually will get a headache. It's like it's traveling up through the body. And that negative entity, you're experiencing that, in your body, because there's a purpose for them partially possessing you, is what it is. And that purpose is for them to, could be lots of different things. I guess some of the motivators are as varied as us, but sometimes the dead just want to have sex, enjoy a cheeseburger. Some of the couple of things we would all think about, if let's say you've been dead for a while, what would you want when you're alive again? Probably sex and a cheeseburger. But they can, when ghosts influence you, or when you have an attachment, they can ride that with you. They can experience that through you, that activity that was so pleasurable. Not all attachments are a negative thing, or even really seem like that important, but just for the sake of experiencing that, for whatever reason, that entity might just do some casual fun stuff too, with you, through your chakras. It's that same energy, and it's death energy is what it is. So you don't want to be around that for extended periods of time, because it will sit in your spine unless you're going to do some meditation, some ritual to cleanse yourself of that energy. And it can give you health problems, especially, like I said, people who have prolonged exposure to the paranormal will become, have fibromyalgia. Or they'll go to the doctor and they won't be able to figure out what is specifically wrong with this person. And it's just that draining of the energy. It's when entities are so attached to a person that it's draining their chakras and therefore their life force. So, and you know what too? It's not that all the dead want to hurt you this way. It's that's how this works. Like, ghosts will sit by your bed at night, or people will report that, because ghosts are getting into your chakra while you're asleep, while you're most vulnerable, and making you have thoughts that aren't necessarily yours. People obviously blow that off for all kinds of reasons, but they're trying to get you to empathize with them or have that moment they need to relive. And while you're asleep is when, like I said, you're most vulnerable. So they're not all trying to hurt you, but the dead who are really sick, who are confused, and then the dead who are just evil, it wants to hurt you, but even the people who are confused or sick, you're going to feel that. You're going to suffer the effects, like I said, especially through a prolonged attachment. You're going to have negative health problems because harmony has been disrupted. You know, that's one of the Native American concepts that I like, is that when disharmony occurs, when a person's simple psychological needs cannot be met, that they are not validated in some way, when a person is broken through trauma, disharmony occurs. And anything can come from that, from ranging from bad health to hallucinations to skinwalkers, because it's disharmony now, and disharmony is just complete chaos as a force. What comes out of possession, I guess, would be my thing that I want to talk about now. Why does this happen to us, and how does this benefit us? Can it? There's always risk involved with the paranormal. But let's say you go to a haunted building and you come in contact with somebody who died in a car accident, and you have that vision, that moment. What you're doing is allowing them to have that vision in that moment with you, and through empathy, they can then move on, a lot of times. And what that does for you, though, is it cleanses your chakras. It's incredible energy. I have been drawn to going to the cemetery since I was a child, and I would see, when I was really young, I would see ghosts with my eyes. It changed now to perception with my third eye, but I would see these people, and I would make a connection with them somehow. I didn't really understand that when I was younger, but when you have that moment and you make that connection with that car accident victim, they're able to move on because of the empathy. So that does that for them. For you, that cleanse of your chakra realigns you. We all get out of alignment with our chakras. Maybe you have trauma that you're holding on to from this life or a past life even. Just such subconscious influences that are just off a little bit. This will shift and help you. It will cleanse you. And that part of you that same person faced, that moment of, let's say, complete fear, because they maybe almost realized they were dying at that moment, and they had a thought about, I'm going to miss my brother. And you have that connection. It will help you with your own problem like that, because that spirit has chosen to resonate with you. Or something is, it's like kindred spirits. It's like when people meet and know each other, it's that kind of energy. So it's good for the dead and it's good for the living, and the energy from that lasts for days, just days. And it's made me cry before, and I think it's probably taught me some of my most profound basic understandings of empathy. And that's why I know that it's worth it, is to have connect with people, even dead people, is, it's a connection. And that's how we all work, is through empathy. When you can conquer the self, even if you want to perceive it, maybe you're just imagining a thing. Maybe I'm imagining ghosts, but maybe I'm just trying to perceive what's really out there. And maybe I'm like, these things, these ghosts are just archetypes or manifestations of my mind, my imagination only. That's fine though. I feel like it's still human, It's still important to have imagination, and like I said, through these connections. My last thing I'll talk about then is somebody asked me, what is the creepiest thing that dead people do? The creepiest thing that dead people do is they hang out with their bodies. And I'm talking about like laying underground, laying by their bodies as close as possible, usually trying to fit inside of their bodies, and just laying there, and it's either cold or stuffy and hot. It's claustrophobic, and they do that if they're not, understanding of the fact that they're dead, or they're overly attached to materialistic things, including the body, believing that's all that there is to the self, and it's not. Now your beliefs are coming back to not work out, not be harmonic. So, and it is really creepy. I just try to shake that feeling off when that happens and I'm connecting with a person, a spirit, because that is just too creepy for me. It's sometimes stinky. It's like you can imagine. I mean, it's probably helped me face my fear of, you're gonna rot in the ground someday. So now I'm not afraid, because I've already experienced that with lots of people. So just completely creepy. And eventually they usually wander the cemetery and then look for attachments with other people. and then they can help, you know, they'll at some point they're going to realize they're dead, and they can move on at least from their attachment to their body and move on to something else, the next transformation for them. Well, I am actually doing 2 videos tonight. So next we're going to do some basic sex magic, just some basic stuff, okay? And I bet you that will be your favorite video yet. Demonick Angel here. Please go to my Patreon page, and it's in the link below. I don't monetize here on YouTube, so that's the way you can support me if you want to reach out, or like, share, subscribe. That's fine too. That's positive vibes as well. So thank you so much.